there's minutes of the last meeting.
Well, this is actually, if you remember, we didn't have a quorum last meeting. This is meeting before last, and this is the one that has to be approved by y'all before our new people can start signing checks. The bank requires that. So, pardon me, Mr. Mayor, for putting that on there. I know you just wanted one item on there, but we need to get this approved so the new people can start signing checks.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve these minutes? Second. Okay. Motion and second. Shannon, did you do the second? Who did the second? Oh,
Mayor did, you're right.
Deborah did, yeah.
Okay, I heard a voice.
Whoever.
I'm sure it was. Okay. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. On the agenda, is there a motion to approve the agenda? We already started it, but.
I'll approve.
Okay. Is there a second? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. All right. Create a selection process to hire a new tourism director. We should all have.
At the last minute, I found the job description when y'all hired me 11 years ago. So that's an 11-year-old job description, but I did find it.
Okay.
Did you update anything?
As good as Barry.
I literally found it 15 minutes ago, so I have not had a chance to update it.
Well,
Because it was a, it was sent to my home address. I never really had it at work until but somehow I found it on an email, so I got it.
all right, so let's take a look here.
What are we called now? Tourism.
We are the Tourism Board of Sumner County. In 2017, the County Commission changed it from the CVB, Convention and Visitors Bureau, to the Tourism Board of Sumner County. And at that moment, they moved all of our employees from the CVB over to the new Tourism Board of Sumner County.
So in line one, we need to change tourism
Correct.
board to Sumner County.
It's Executive Committee. I guess that's us.
Well, actually, back then, there were 15 people on the
Right.
board, so they had an executive committee, which is made up of the president, vice president, treasurer, and secretary. And when we went to the smaller board of only 9 people, they voted to do away with the executive committee. So
And so just say,
you just got the board.
and
Consists of the tourism board. Okay.
put that, you have a period, take the rest out.
All right. Manage day-to-day activities of the Convention Visitors Bureau is no longer it, including general management and coordination of the county's tourism efforts, responsible for program of work, organizational.
That's a Jimmy Johnston term. He likes that term, program of work.
Gotcha. Organizational structure and procedures, budget and finance, staffing, public relations, marketing and planning, direct and manage staff, and the implementation of tourism objectives and policies. Is that still?
That's still pretty much it.
Are there, do you know of any others that we should add to that list? Offhand. We can come back to that if we need to.
Working with the board, it doesn't really say that on there, but I guess that's pretty obvious.
Under your policy, serve as an advisor to the board of directors
Okay.
on matters pertaining to the policies.
I just brought this for y'all's information.
Sure.
You can do
Well, I
whatever
was
you want to
hoping
do
we
with
would
it.
have one because it's easier to do this than to write up one from scratch.
Yeah.
Specific duties and responsibilities, program of work. Responsible for the identification of community, county tourism needs and for the development of a program of work designed to meet those needs. Direct and implement this program of work with the aid of staff, volunteers, and the board of directors. No policies dropped, including policies adopted by the board of directors. Are we still considered the board of directors? Is that?
Yeah, you're the
correct
Tourism
title?
Board of Sumner County.
Okay, just making sure. Anything else there? Anything there that seems old and that should discard, or something maybe I should add?
It's pretty broad in its description here.
And broad is usually good for a job description anyway.
And what I'm reading, as I read further, it kind of like tourism sites, for example, it kind of breaks down those
Right.
specific duties a
Okay.
little better, so.
Well, let's move on, unless anybody has any more comments on program of work. Projects and events planning. Responsible for coordination of county tourism events and development of projects, trade shows, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And other activities deemed worthy by consensus of the board and of the staff and board.
That's still pretty much accurate.
Pretty much covers pretty much everything. Tourism sites, responsible for consulting with site directors, staff, and volunteers, serving in conjunction with historical sites, attractions, etc. Assist these sites with development of ideas, planning, and marketing in accordance with program of work and marketing plan mission. That seems pretty much what we're doing, what the job is.
I mean, you might want to add somewhere in here that we are what's, in the tourism world, we're what's called a DMO, a Destination Marketing Organization. That probably need to go up towards the top somewhere.
Under duties and responsibilities?
And adding.
Oh, that's Angela Govan. But do we want to?
Oh, she
Okay,
wanna
thank you.
Hello?
listen in?
Hey, this is Angela. Mary Lee was going to call me into the meeting, and she said to call you, that she was at the hospital.
Yeah, her father has gone into the ICU. He had bypass surgery about a week ago, so she's not here. But we've got you on speakerphone.
Hello, Angela, this is
Okay.
Baker. Hey, all right, so where should we put develop, what'd you say, develop?
DMO.
Destination Marketing Organization. Manage day-to-day activities of the Sumner County Tourism Office, which, I don't know, is or however y'all want to put that.
Okay, like manage day-to-day activities of the tourism board or tourism office as a destination marketing organization?
Yeah, there you go. As
So I was
a,
There
gonna
you
say,
go.
add that at the very front, as a destination marketing organization.
Okay, including.
Duties would
yeah,
include
okay.
managing day-to-day activities.
All right. Tourism sites, we looked at that. Long-range planning, under the direction of an evolving board of directors and roster of officers. Evolving? I'm not sure that needs to be there. The director is responsible for maintaining continuity and consistency of programming. The director may work with the board of directors to anticipate emerging and long-range trends and recommend county programs to address such challenges.
I mean, in today's world, we've been taught by all the tourism conferences we go to is that due to the increased technology, people don't do like 5 or 7 year plans anymore because things change so quickly. I'm here to advise you. Y'all do whatever you want to do, you know. But
You still have, you still.
Oh,
pay
you're talking about
attention
get
to
rid of
emerging
long-range
and
trends?
I would just get rid of the word long range.
And just use trends or marketing trends or
Anticipate
tourism
emerging
trends,
and
Marketing, I
trends.
mean,
emerging,
And
anticipate emerging trends. Just get rid of and long range.
It's the last long
that
range
make
thing we
sense?
did was the eclipse.
Yeah, we planned on that for about 3 years.
And I remember when you brought it up, it was like, this is 3 years from now, why are we even talking about this? Boy, were we lucky we did.
Yeah.
Okay, so just make that planning, get rid of long range.
Yeah.
And in the last line, the director must work with the board of directors to anticipate emerging trends and recommend county programs to address such challenges. Does that sound good? Okay. Policy. Another CDB in there. Service advisor, board of directors, on my district policies, work with staff. Yeah, I think that looks good.
You know, we now do have a, what do we call it? Personnel policy manual? We do have that in place now. We went years without having anything, basically. I don't know if you, that kind of covers that, I guess, but.
I marked out the CVB everywhere in here and just put,
Tourism.
Tourism Board of Sumner County. TBOSC for me, but.
Yeah. Right. Personnel, responsible for employment and supervision of staff, including the authority to select, employ, develop, and discharge employees. Develop and maintain personnel policies and practices of employees in conjunction with the board of directors. Develop the organizational plan for staff. We pretty much done, you got that done. That's done, but it needs to stay in here. The next director will need to be doing those things. Finance. General responsibility for management of finances, well, CVB. Prepare annual budget. Okay, provide such information as requested by the board. Meet with the county budget committee as necessary. Prepare regular and accurate financial reports. Okay. Responsible for all expenditures within the budget, framework of the budget. Negotiate contracts with event planners. Signs checks in accordance with the bylaws. Everything there is pretty accurate as far as I can tell.
Speaking of budget, has that been turned in?
No, it's due the end of the month.
Before you leave,
I typically turn it in on the day before it's due.
So you're still gonna pull that off?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I will turn, yes. I mean, look, I gave y'all,
Plenty of
you may
things.
want to kick me out before that, but I figured it was gonna take you a while to get somebody to replace me, so I didn't want to
Thank
leave you hanging, you know, so.
Thank you, I was aware of that. And then the other thing would be, would you make sure to let us know what the hearing date is, as best you can?
Well, typically the budget is due, it's either February 28th or March 1st, I forget, but it's
March 1st.
March 1st. And I don't know if anything has changed, but typically, we have a budget hearing either in April or May, just depending on how fast or slow things are going. That's when I come in and I have about 7 minutes or something to tell them what we're planning, and then we answer any questions anybody has.
So my concern this year, and I'm sorry to stop us right in the middle, but it's probably appropriate timing. My concern this year is we have pretty much a new commission.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to be absent our tourism director. So we've got to be very diligent in making sure that they being the powers, the budget committee, whoever those people are, don't see this as an opportunity to cut the budget, because tourism is doing so good in Sumner County. And I want to make sure if I had to stand up, I will. I want to make sure I have all of the numbers that I know you have that shows how many tourism dollars actually are brought in as a result. So we may spend $700,000 of tourism dollars on the tourism department, but the economic impact is
176 million last year.
right. So 700,000 to fund an office that brings in 176 million in economic impact. We got to make sure that people understand that. I don't want them to see this as an opportunity to say, hey, we don't have a director, it's a great time to cut the budget, start over, because then we start going backwards, and all the efforts that have been put in for the last 10 years kind of go to the wayside.
And we are running ahead of last year. I'm not supposed to bring this up today, but I just got our numbers for the December, and it was up from last December. So we're a little bit further ahead than I told you we were last time.
Good.
Anyway, I apologize for interrupting. I just wanted to make sure we have that in the back of our minds as we go forward.
Okay, anything under finance that needs to be changed? Anybody see anything?
I did not.
Okay. Marketing and public relations, prepare, edit, and publish. Angela, we're reading from
Yes.
the job description when Barry was hired,
11 years ago.
so.
Oh, mercy.
Yeah. Marketing and public relations, prepare, edit, and publish all CVB and Sumner County tourism publications and communications, including et cetera, et cetera.
I mean, the only thing I see missing from it is social media, SEO, which is search engine optimization. You know, it's gotten a little bit more technical as far as the marketing goes. Sue, what else do we talk to the marketing person about?
All the analytics.
Analytics.
that we do, The Google Analytics.
They need to be familiar with all that.
Do they need to be familiar with all that, or do we need to have the people in place? Like, typically, an accountant is good at numbers, a salesperson is good at people, right? And so, as a director, you're gonna be good with people. Do you not need a social media expert to do?
But we have that. We have one. But our office is still relatively small. If that person's out for some reason, then the director's going to step in and either do it themselves or get somebody else to do it, you know.
Okay, so social media, search engine optimization and Google Analytics needs to be added.
Or analytics, yeah.
How
I
about
guess
a working knowledge of?
a working knowledge, yeah. You don't have to be an expert, but you would need to know something about it. Because that's where it's at as far as marketing nowadays. What you're trying to do is trying to get when somebody Googles you, you're trying to get you to come up at the top, and that's what you put in keywords and things of that sort that help you get up to the top.
So that'll need to go in that paragraph,
Somewhere in there, yeah.
in that 12-line sentence.
And that, yeah, like you said, a working knowledge. They don't have to have 20 years experience of it because they hadn't
Wouldn't they even have to?
hadn't been around there.
I know.
Yeah. All right. So we can add something, we can add that to marketing and public relations. Other activities. Represent Sumner County in all tourism-related activities, including local, regional, state, and national organizations, conferences, and meetings. Serve as liaison to channel communications between the tourism board and Sumner County.
That's still pretty much true. You have to kind of see and be seen and communicate with all the city mayors, and in addition to you guys, the chambers of commerce, the parks and recreation departments.
Do it belong to all the chambers of commerce?
Yes, we are members of all 6 chambers of commerce in Sumner County.
Because we have to work closely with them.
That is correct.
Attend meetings of the Sumner County Commission as necessary, prepare meeting packets, and attend tourism board, we reword that, meetings.
Let me back up. We are the Tourism Board of Sumner County, Inc., but we do business as Sumner County Tourism. So it's okay to say Sumner County.
It says Sumner County Tourism Board, okay. Submitting periodic reports reflecting the activities of the Sumner County Board, Tourism Board, okay. Perform other duties as necessary to the best interest of the board, subject to the policies established by the board. Anything anybody sees there that needs to be revised or updated or crossed out? Okay.
Is this a contract?
Thank you for correcting that.
Yes, thank you.
Well, I just found it like 20 minutes ago, so.
Is this a contract position?
I think I signed a letter of employment, but I mean, I basically serve at the will and pleasure of the board, in Tennessee.
The board.
This board,
Okay.
this board.
All right,
Yeah, it's not like a 5-year contract like you would
Okay.
give to
Yeah.
a county attorney or something like that.
Yeah, I don't have any years, or it's just like, okay, I'm gonna sign this saying I'm now your director, but you can keep me or not whenever you want, I
I
guess.
would
But
say I'm almost afraid of the contract, just in case we accidentally made the wrong decision, then we'd be stuck.
Oh, no, I know, I agree.
but just to remind
I
y'all,
was
we
just
are
asking because I didn't know.
we're a 501c6 private nonprofit corporation, and I answer solely to this board. Now, we do get our 95% of our funding does come from the county commission, but
Through the bed tax, hotel motel tax.
occupancy tax, yes, sir. We do get various grants and things from the state and other things too, but as it is right now, I answer to you guys right here. And I work at the will and pleasure of the board.
Okay, so what was the procedure when they hired you?
Okay, and once again, I'm here to help you. I'm not, it's none of my, the way I see it, it's none of my business how y'all do this.
Were you gonna say something?
I'm just here to help you. So here's how it went down 11 years ago. I'll try not to take more than a couple hours, no, I'm just kidding. At that time, we had 15 people on the board. We had somebody from each chamber of commerce. That's basically the difference. There's 60. Now we just have one chamber of commerce on here. But they actually hired the Center for Nonprofit Management.
Is that the fellow from Ball State?
No.
No, it's up.
No, this is,
Oh, okay.
I don't know if y'all know a lady named Terry Hughes. She's over the Center for Nonprofit Management in Nashville. My recollection is there were over 40 applications, and what they did is they hired the Center for Nonprofit Management to whittle it down. So they did the initial interviews, and I don't remember if I did 1 or 2 with them, but they cut it down to 10 people, but then they cut it down to 4. And I believe the tourism board had a ad hoc committee, what are you going to call it, of 7 people from the board. That's when the board had 15 on it total. And those 7 board members did the final interview with the 4 finalists.
So all of your interviews were, and I've used the Center for Nonprofit Management for the Child Care Center.
It's expensive.
It's expensive, but they do a lot of the work.
They do all the work for you. You don't have to worry about it until you get down to the final 4.
But they sent us, let's use your numbers 10 and 4, they sent us the candidates attend, we looked at them.
That may be what happened.
Yeah, and then they whittled it down.
They whittled it down to 4.
And
The
then
board did, okay.
they sent us those 4, and we decided who we wanted to interview, and we had face-to-face interviews at that
Yes,
time.
yes. And then, they decided on me for some reason, I don't know.
But if I'm not mistaken, Barry, and correct me if I am wrong, they did all of the advertising and everything for us. We didn't gather the 40 and
Now,
then send
don't
them
quote
out.
me on this, I don't know if Mr. Al's on or not there, but, I believe the cost was a little bit more than $10,000. It may have been closer to 12.
So it's not a percentage of your income, it's a
They
so
just charged a fee.
Just charge a
Flat fee.
fee.
Of course, that was
flat
11
fee.
years ago, and things may have changed with them, I don't know, but,
Closer
We
to 20
would
if that's
need
the
to
case.
check into what that cost is to make sure it's
I'm sure prices have gone up.
right.
Mhm.
But they're going to open this up nationwide to the top versus we're going to be limited on who we attract or who we,
I mean, we could put it on Indeed.com and get 250 applications. Which,
Well, that's what you have to decide. I mean, of course, if you get 250, you're gonna want Center for Nonprofit Management.
Right.
It's
Probably
like when I
go
was,
through 'em.
my church was looking for a youth minister, a youth director. I got the weirdest applicants.
that's what I was gonna say. Do we want 250 unqualified applicants, or do we wanna go out and try to steal the best tourism director we can steal for our money? And that's where the Center for Nonprofit's gonna be able to get to those people that we're not gonna find.
Yeah, if we put it out ourselves, we will get lots of unqualified applicants.
Barry and I mean, we've had several conversations about this, and I think it's worth the investment. We'll still advertise it locally, but we'll advertise it to where they contact Center for Nonprofit Management. They won't go through us. I do think that this job description, we probably need to run through our HR, just for advice, to make sure everything's okay. And
'Cause this doesn't have all the
any
legal-
legalities that
Right.
we need to add to it.
Yeah, laws have changed in the last 11 years, that's for sure.
Yeah, so, we have all the discriminatory clauses and all that, so, but we had talked about this, and I think it would be an excellent investment. It's how we got Barry, and, Barry has taken tourism to the next level in Sumner County. And the return on the investment that we've made in tourism is quite obvious. And I want to try to keep that going as much as possible. And that's gonna require a nationwide search to find the best person. And that best person may be locally, I don't know.
We won't know till we try.
So, but Center for Nonprofit Management are professionals. They know this business, and they know how to vet the candidates, and they can get it whittled down to where we find the one that what we think best fits Sumner County.
And I remember the name of the gentleman that had this account from the Center for Nonprofit Management. Now, he may be retired now, I don't know. His name is Frank Parsons. So Terry Hughes, that's TARIHUGHES, I believe. She's the CEO of the Center for Nonprofit Management. And then Frank Parsons was the person they assigned this to, and he's the one who did the interviews, the initial interviews, and helped whittle it down. Now, he may not still be there, I don't know. But
I'm not real sure, but that's something simple.
I do remember he did do a phone interview to whittle it down before I came in for an interview. He called me on the phone, I remember now. So he did at least 2 interviews with all the candidates.
So Mayor, what do you think our next move is? Send this over to HR and let them,
Well, I mean, we can do several things simultaneously, because we do need to move pretty quick. One, I can get this fine-tuned to make sure everything's okay with it. I'd be more than happy to do that, and then send it out to everybody, so everybody can kind of take one glance at it and, and see if there's anything we missed. And then the second part, we've gotten pretty small as a board. I don't know if we need a separate board, or if you just want to task somebody with making the contacts and getting the process rolling. We just vote as a board to start this process. I think before we make a decision, we probably need to gather some information. You know, I don't think I would want to say, let's employ Center for Nonprofit Management if I don't know how much they're gonna charge.
Yeah, it's probably gone
Yeah.
up.
Well, it has to have gone up, and I'm sure the people have changed, and
I did think of one thing, and I don't wanna, well, let me just say it, you know, in 2015, the Douglas Clark House opened, and the county asked us to operate it. So we have an employee over there at the Douglas Clark House that has to be supervised. So we operate a historic site, basically.
right.
So that's not in here.
Yeah, and we probably need to state that specifically, and,
And that's not unlike, you know, I used to be the director of Welcome Centers for the state of Tennessee. It's not unlike the Welcome Centers. TDOT owns all the Welcome Centers, but they got tourism to operate it. So the employees in there were our employees.
right. And that was part of the grant process, to refurbish the Douglas House. The state said you have to have somebody here. to,
Yeah, well, that makes
maintain it.
sense. Is it a 40-hour week?
It's 5 days a week, 8 hours a
Okay.
day, 40 hours.
Oh, okay.
In the grant, I've been told in the grant, it says we have to be open 5 days a week. We got during COVID, we got a, what's it called, a waiver to
Yeah.
just be open 4
Yeah.
days a week.
I'm surprised we were open.
Well, we
for-
weren't open at all there, you know, during the first
The
2
worst
months of
of
it.
it, yeah.
But because we had to, everybody's funding kind of dropped a little bit, so we had to,
Is this a renewable grant, or is this something that will go away?
you know, I was not really involved with the grant process. That would have been the county mayor's office and Kim Norfleet.
Yeah, and I would have to get an answer for you. Golly, I thought it was a
Because
one-time.
if it's,
I thought it
because
was
if
a
it's not
one-time.
That's-
renewable
my thought was it
and
was
we,
one-time grant.
I thought
it
it was-
wears, it goes away, then we're not stuck with it.
Yeah,
We're not
I've never
bound to that.
seen the grant. I was just, the
Oh, okay.
county mayor's office just asked us if we
Yeah.
would operate it, and at the time I said, okay, sure, so.
I'll get,
Oh,
I'm glad that-
okay, well, we might wanna look at that grant.
I'll get you that information. Yeah,
Does
well,
that
I'll
make
get,
sense?
everybody, cause I send it to everybody at one time.
And by the way, the Center for Nonprofit Management is a 501c3 corporation,
Right.
so they're also a nonprofit.
Yeah, Terry Hughes used to be the head of the Nashville Library Foundation.
Terry Hughes is still president and CEO.
Yeah, okay.
You have a phone number handy, since you got it pulled in?
615-544-4713.
47313, sorry. I mean, I don't mind taking that task and reaching out and gathering data, shoot an email out and saying, hey, this is who I spoke with, this is what they look like financially, this is what it looks like.
I don't mind letting you do that.
I think it's a great idea.
That I do too, that is wonderful.
Somebody has to. Let it be.
Hey, I have a feeling in the end, I'm gonna
I've
have
been
to
on
have
those
a
data
busy side.
missions.
All right, so that's, I mean, I think those are the steps that we need to take right now.
Yeah.
So I'll get this document ready and send it out to everybody for review. I'll get the information on Douglas Clark House, send that out to everybody for review, and then you'll get the information from Center of Nonprofit Management. I do think we probably need to make a decision pretty quick to get it started. I think, good thing Barry's going to Portland.
I'm still gonna be around.
Instead
So,
of
we can
Connecticut or
still,
someplace,
we
yeah.
can still tap him as a resource, a light resource. I don't wanna be leaning on him too much.
I mean, a lot of our,
How
my
much,
friends got
friends,
work
how much
to
is your
do.
consultation fee?
And,
well, we can negotiate that.
Oh, okay, all right.
And we don't have another meeting till March 21st.
March 21st is the next meeting.
We may end up with
We
a
need another
special
special
call meeting.
meeting.
What does the position pay? Is that something else we need to change or look
We
at?
need to know.
Okay.
They should be able to help give us guidance as what is currently the trend, but he probably knows.
I mean, I can tell you what I make.
Do you want to write it down on a piece of paper?
I'd love to.
Okay.
But I was gonna tell you, that's not what I signed on for. I've had a few raises over
Oh,
the
right.
11 years.
Oh, I would expect that
Sure.
also cost of living and
He's,
everything.
he's gonna write it down.
Yeah,
I don't have the exact
So
number, but it's somewhere
So big that we
around,
can't
Yeah.
sorry, I forgot all about this.
I don't have the exact number, but it's
Oh,
somewhere
right.
around that.
Okay.
And
But when I
Okay, I saw, thank you.
when I first started, it was that. That's a 5. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Gotcha. Yep.
I'm still not used to that being.
Thank you.
Yeah.
part of our work with Center Nonprofit Management is also to determine a salary range. We'll need a market range for this, if we plan on wanting to be competitive. So, I think they would be an excellent resource for that.
I'm not sure. Oh, that was part of the problem with the law directors, that when we did that, I mean, the competitiveness, we're
yeah.
not very, we're not that,
We're not competitive.
we can't
We're
afford to be
anywhere
that competitive, would be the best way to say that.
We have to make a decision to be competitive. It's not that we can't afford it, it's that we have
Thank
to
you for
make a
the foresight on
decision.
that, because that's true.
Yes.
You have to make a decision. So, and guys, I'm sorry, but this is just something, I was in a legislative meeting for Tennessee Realtors on the Hill Day, and William Lambert made a statement that was very impactful, very profound to me, and it's something going forward that I really intend to try to speak to my county lawmakers about, and that was that Brentwood, Williamson County, many years ago decided what they wanted to look like and who they wanted to be, and that included for them having the most expensive houses because that provided more tax. And I use that as an example because I think it's really important that we as Sumner County to have to decide who we want to be and what we want to look like in 20 years. And that starts right here with tourism. Who do we want to be and what do we
Can't
want to
just
look
happen.
like?
Because we've seen what we've seen what happens when it just happens.
When it just happens, that's right, and then you wake up and you don't like any of it, and it's too late, and I just found that to be very profound. I'm going to really start being diligent on a daily basis of what do we want that to look like, and how do we get there. So, yeah, I'll be bothering all y'all.
All right, so here's what's going to happen is the mayor is going to send the job description to HR, to Wordsmith, put in all the required language that has come up in the last 10 years, and make sure that everything is sufficient. And you are going to contact,
Center for Nonprofit Management.
I just realized I've been getting emails from them for like the last couple of years, and I've never really responded. Okay, to contact Center for Nonprofit Management, and then you're gonna get back with us, John will get back with us?
Yep, I'll shoot an email as soon as I have something
Okay.
gathered with any data and information. I'll
So
try to
we'll-
have that by Monday. Depends on how lucky I am getting in touch with her tomorrow.
Well, she may not get back to you in time.
Well, Terry, she's got a pretty large staff.
don't-
I don't know if she's
There's
gonna
a lot of people on that
reply
list.
back to you or not.
Somebody else
I would
might.
have to talk to her. I know I didn't
Yeah.
talk to her when we were doing it for the child care center.
And Frank Parsons, who did it 11 years ago, apparently is still with them, because I saw his name on it, so.
Okay, well, I think if we're able to get this part done by Monday, let's say Monday, let's go ahead and set a meeting for that following Monday. We do have to give 7 days notice.
For us, that's
For us to get together to approve or disapprove.
holiday.
What time did you say?
For the next Monday is the
That's the
20th.
19th.
I'll be out of town.
It's a bye week. That's how I remember.
Yeah, that's President's
Because we
Day.
don't have commission till the next week.
It's a
Yeah,
bye week.
That's what I call them.
That's President's Day, and I'll be out of
I
town.
don't
till-
get bye weeks.
I'll be out of town.
Well,
I'll be out
that's
of
the
town
job
till
you
Thursday
signed
that
up
week.
for.
Absolutely.
I was gonna say, I'm
Okay, so-
overbooked Monday.
We could get together that.
mean-
Tuesday is school board, so we could get together Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday.
I mean, we
I'm looking
could
at
call it. If you have the information by Friday, we can call it late Friday and do it the next Friday.
You talking about Friday being tomorrow?
Friday week.
Like the 17th.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm leaving town on the 17th, and won't be back till the 23rd.
I will have, my goal is to have the information by Monday the 13th, Tuesday the 14th at the latest, if we want to do something on Wednesday or Thursday before Baker leaves, 15th or 16th.
I think there's a 7-day notice that we have to.
Oh,
Yeah, we need
gotcha.
to.
I see, I don't-
Right.
Well, let me
y'all have
ask
to
you this,
vote
is
that.
it tourism under those rules? Because you're a separate 501c3? I
Well,
wanna do,
we are
do
under the
notice.
rules when we have a board meeting, because
okay,
we always have to post it.
Okay,
Yeah.
that would be the thing for a special call.
yeah, so we'll probably need to
Well, if
operate those.
we give you time and you have it by Wednesday, then we could do the next Wednesday, which is the 21st. 22nd, sorry, it's Ash Wednesday.
So.
Or we'll do that
So here-
Tuesday,
yeah,
the 21st.
And I see our director grimacing.
No,
Because
I'm-
we're running out of
I'm
time.
an old man, I
Right,
keep my,
we're
put
losing
my
2
calendar on a
weeks doing
paper,
that,
piece of paper,
so-
I didn't bring that with me, that's what I'm just trying to figure out, do I have anything to, but.
I don't, so if we
I
had
don't
to
think
do
we have
7-day
anything-
notice, can we not do starting today, the 9th?
Or-
And then
or-
cancel
Or
it.
do the
Special
16th?
called, you have to do 7 days on special called.
I think so,
Yeah.
I think so.
We could do on this, could we do it on this Thursday if we put the notice out?
I mean, we put the notice
Today?
out now.
We put the
and-
notice
and
out
see-
now.
Yeah.
Put the notice out now and do it
As soon as we
have
Thursday,
the
16th,
information.
that's next Thursday.
That's-
And then you can
7 days.
cancel it if we don't have any
Exactly.
information.
Okay, so what time are we
Thursdays
saying?
are
No,
real
you
bad
have-
for me now.
You have something, you have a meeting, but I think it's in the morning.
Yeah, I've got something, I've got doctor's appointment in the morning, something in the afternoon.
Kelly's-
Thursday the
Visualize
16th is
Kelly's
very
out
bad
now.
for me. All
Very bad.
Thursdays kind of have turned into be bad, but I could work it if
Wednesday,
I.
the 15th,
We
that
can
would
put you on your
officially be
phone.
7 days, wouldn't it, if we counted
No, I
today?
don't think so.
The 15th you will, but you would have to do it after 4:30.
What about the 16th?
The 16th you have a meeting and Kelly and I are both out.
I like Wednesday.
That's some good thing, somebody knows your calendar.
I mean, I hate to
It
do it
is.
5 on Wednesday.
Okay, Friday the 17th.
Is anybody doing Ashes Wednesday? I'm not.
I am, but I'll be in Chicago to do it, so.
Oh,
You leave
okay.
Friday the 17th.
Well, send us a picture.
So Wednesday looks like it, or Thursday evening.
Thursday's evening's fine with me.
Thursday the 16th, I've got a meeting at, I've got a Zoom meeting at 5, but if we meet, you know, if I get home by 5, I'm good.
Oh, I was like, the 15th. I was
We
thinking
can't do
you'll
it
be.
during the day at all on Thursday.
Okay.
I can't.
I know Angela can't come during the day, because like I said, she's working in.
Angela, you
Macon
still with
County.
us?
I am.
I think we
I
can,
can, I mean, I can come later in the day, but 2 o'clock, that's, I can't.
Yeah, right.
can we do it 4 o'clock? And then be
I
done,
think
we'll
I
be
could do
done in
4.
time for Baker to get a Zoom meeting at
I think
5.
I could do 4 on Thursday.
I could come at 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And, I mean, if I have to, I can do
Kelly
Zoom on
and I
my,
are not,
I can do
so
the Zoom meeting on my
somebody has to
phone here, so.
Oh,
I
Kelly?
have to.
Kelly and I are both out that
So
day.
that my 2 minute takers won't be here that day.
Well, one of us
Will
can
this
do it.
have to be
When y'all
approved
take
by
the minutes?
You
me?
can take, I could get you,
I have to be
It's not-
somewhere by 5 on the 15th too. I mean 16th.
16.
No, on Thursday the 16th.
Yeah, I just have to be somewhere by 5 too. I have a meeting at 5:30 that I have to be there. at
What
5:40.
will we be doing on that meeting? What's the purpose for having that meeting?
That meeting will, to make a decision on employing the Center of Nonprofit Management and the policy on how we're gonna proceed to
And
with that
approving, and
process.
approving the,
And approving
the
the
job description.
job description. Yep.
Can anybody move it up to 3:30 and still be okay? I'm trying to make sure we get her somewhere by
Yeah.
5 and you do your Zoom meeting. Can everybody make
I have to
3:30?
just be back.
I don't even know what day we're talking about.
Thursday the
to Realty.
16th.
Okay.
Thir-
I just
I think
blocked
so,
it
if
out.
that's just real quick.
My hair appointment's on Tuesday, so I'm not worried about the rest of the week.
I'm okay for
Thursday,
3:30.
The 16th at 3:30?
Okay.
I'll check it when I get back. I mean, it's not,
Can I
I
bring
mean,
a
I'm not,
baby?
I don't count as a board member, so
Sure.
I'll be
Well,
here.
She's real cute.
I mean, I would love to be here to help you.
What's your new job gonna be like?
Well, I'm gonna be the director of the Temple Theater in Portland, and my wife said, "You are not going to go do that." And I took her up there and showed it to her. She said, "That's like a miniature Summerhorn scene."
It is beautiful.
It's the most beautiful little theater I've ever seen. I just fell in love with it.
Well, make sure you park far away from where you work, because if you eat lunch across the street every day, you're gonna need to walk a little bit.
I need to walk.
They have great deviled eggs and pistachio pudding
They're
and.
Are you
great.
talking about
Fried.
Milo's?
Milo's.
No, the,
Top of the Ridge?
yeah, Top of the Ridge.
They're both there, right? Within walking distance. You're right.
I've never been to Milo's.
Anything else we need to talk about?
Did you get that date and time, 3:30 on the 16th?
And are you gonna do the notice? Who needs to do the notice?
We
You gonna
can,
do
since
that?
it has to go out, yeah, I can do it when I get back.
Okay, so you can get it out, we can get it on the website today.
You know how to do that?
No, I
Kelly,
can figure
Kelly
it
normally
out.
does the notices and she's not here, so.
I can
Yeah,
figure it
just
out.
do the notice and you'll send it to Michael Stearns.
Okay,
Uh,
Is that an
prob-
IT?
You can always just send it to me if you have a problem,
okay,
and I'll get it to Michael.
okay. And just saying there's a special called board meeting, okay.
And we don't really know if there's anything else going on in this room at that time yet, do we? How do we find that
I'll
out?
double check.
Probably
that.
not.
Yeah, I'll double check it just to make
If
sure.
it's as pretty as it is today, we'll sit outside.
When was too, I think it's calmed down a little bit now.
We can always do it in
Mayor's conference
the
room.
mayor's conference room with this number, yeah.
And you'll do minutes for that.
You got that, Angela?
I tend to get distracted. so-
16th at 3:30 PM?
Yeah, I'll do my best.
Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye. Thank you.
All right, anything-
Are we
Have a good
finished?
day.
Anything else anybody needs to discuss? We've covered the agenda, so
Motion to
the
adjourn.
meeting is adjourned.
Thank you. Bye.
Aye.